Did John Harbaugh just reveal who he wants the Giants to select with the number 5 pick? We're breaking that down on today's show, but I want to hear from you watching today's show first. Should the Giants pick Caleb Downs, the safety, at number 5? Type Y for yes and N for no. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. And is Caleb Downs going to be a New York football Giant? John Harbaugh was asked about Caleb Downs being the first-round pick for Big Blue, and he said, big fan. That guy would be just fine with me. I'd take him in a second. He went on the Mike Francesa podcast and said, big fan. You know, he didn't mention Brian Dawkins had a chance to coach him because Francesa asked him about drafting a safety like Caleb Downs. Said, yeah. We favor Hall of Fame safeties. So if we have a chance to draft a potential future Hall of Fame safety in Caleb Downs, that would be just fine with me. But we'll take the best player. You know, when you draft that high, you take the best player. It's not a need pick. It's the best player pick because you're going for the guy that's going to be that kind of player. You're talking about a guy that you would like to see someday wearing a gold jacket, if possible. That's what the goal is with that pick. So this would be the highest pick for me ever as a head coach, you know? So this is pretty exciting to have a pick this high. Yeah, that guy talking about Caleb Downs would be just fine with me. I'd take him in a second. And if you've been watching this channel throughout the offseason, Caleb Downs is a player that I would love to see wearing New York Giants blue, being a captain of this defense, and being the playmaker that this defense so desperately need. This is music to my ears. And I understand why this could be a polarizing pick for some players. We've heard for so long, positional value. Don't take this position there and this position doesn't go there. And we've done this before. You just got to go back to 2018 when the Giants drafted a running back at number 2 overall. I think this one is a little bit different because I can make the strong argument, kind of like in 2018, that Caleb Downs is the best player in this class. And if you could ever get the best player in the class, the number 5 pick, you do it. But also, defensive playmakers continue to be a major need for the New York Giants. And that's exactly what Caleb Downs is. He comes in at number 4 on Dane Brugler's big board, lead draft NFL insider and analyst for The Athletic. He wrote this about the number 4 prospect, quote, a human missile. Downs jumps off the tape because of his fast, competitive play style. Despite his average size at 6 foot, 205, he is an elite tackler who fills with impressive body control and strength at contact. He showed the same high-level reaction skills in coverage. Downs sees the field like a chessboard. He is one of the better safety prospects I have ever evaluated. One of the better safety prospects I have ever evaluated. Mel Kiper Jr. has Caleb Downs number 6 on his big board, saying Downs, the brother of NFL wide receiver Josh Downs and the son of former NFL running back Gary Downs, is basically an extension of the defensive coordinator. His football knowledge shows in his play. It's obvious when you watch him in the Ohio State defense. But what really impressed me is how well he picked up the Nick Saban defense as a freshman at Alabama in 2023. He diagnoses quickly thanks to excellent pre-snap instincts, and that allows him to play faster than his straight line speed might suggest. Plus, Downs is solid in coverage, and he is a very reliable open field tackler. Look at this series of tweets. Albert Breer tweeting out, I feel comfortable saying Caleb Downs is the best football player in the 2026 draft class. He won't be the first pick. You have to consider upside, positional value, all that. And there are guys with more of all that stuff, but no one in the class is a better football player. Dane Brugler, quote, tweets that and says, fun question I've been asking to scouts, quote, Caleb Downs is the best safety prospect you've personally scouted since? And a few answers have been ever. I mean, come on. Like, the only knock on Caleb Downs that I have seen from watching his film, talking to people that consider them draft analysts, is that he plays safety. There's nothing about his game that you can say that shows that he's not an elite football player, that he's not a top 5 player in this class, and maybe not the best player in this class. The only red flag on his scouting tape is that he plays safety. And I almost feel like that's unfair for him to just be labeled as a safety. He is a defensive playmaker. He can line up at free safety. He can line up in the slot. He can line up on the line of scrimmage. You can put him inside the box. He can be that big nickel. He can be that sub-package linebacker. You can put him on the outside at corner if you need to. And if there's ever a matchup with a tight end, a position the Giants have not been able to cover my entire life, you just say, Caleb Downs, you go guard him, and you don't let him have a big day, like Ohio State did when he had to go guard Tyler Warren against Penn State. Like there was every time a matchup Ohio State had, it was like, all right, number 2, you just go guard him and you neutralize what he can do. He has stuffed the stat sheet for 3 years. He did it at Alabama as a freshman. 107 tackles as a freshman. Who does that? Then he goes to Ohio State after Nick Saban retires, and it just continued production and continued success. And he continues to elevate who he is as a player. You see all the stats: tackles for loss, pass breakups, interceptions, forced fumbles, fumbles recovered. Like, there is nothing that Caleb Downs cannot do. And one of the things I'm most excited about is he can still be used in more ways. Only 1.5 sacks and 9 QB pressures in his career. We just saw Devin Witherspoon for the Seattle Seahawks make a major impact as a blitzer in the Super Bowl. Caleb Downs can do that as well. He lines up everywhere. In his career, Alabama in 2 years as a Buckeye, 920 snaps at free safety, 574 snaps in the slot, 865 snaps inside the box, and he's lined up on the defensive line 76 times. He can do absolutely everything. And he, in my opinion, is the most complete football player in this class. So miss me with all the positional value nonsense. This isn't running back where you don't want to pay a running back a second contract. How many times have we seen safeties gotten big-time second contracts? Like maybe the guy that used to wear number 29 that played here, didn't he go on to the Green Bay Packers and have a damn good season last year and another good season this year? People try to minimize the impact that a safety had. Go listen to how Matt Patricia talked about Caleb Downs. Listen to how Nick Saban talks about him. There's reports coming out that opposing offensive coordinators would identify where Caleb Downs is at on the field instead of Mike linebackers. He did everything. And he's as good as they come. But he might be even a better leader and a better culture changer than he is a football player. And he set that football player bar extremely high. When you close your eyes and you say, what does this defense need? Well, they need a leader. It's Caleb Downs. They need a tone setter. That's Caleb Downs. They need a difference maker, a chess piece, and a winner. But most importantly, a kick-ass football player. That's exactly who Downs is. I'm not sure there's a more perfect pick. And John Harbaugh knows what it takes to play safety at a high level in this league. Coached Ed Reed. He's coached as well Kyle Hamilton. And he was a DB coach at one point as well. If John Harbaugh thinks he's the right pick, I also am going to co-sign that. But my own research, my own eyes, they tell me that Caleb Downs is the best player in this class, and I'm hoping he falls to number 5. We'll talk about some other draft targets as well. But first, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor of today's show, and that is GLD. Get hooked up with them. They've got an awesome deal going on right now. When you use that code CHAT, you can get 50% off your order. Let's be real. Buying men's jewelry is tough, especially when you're trying to find something that's meaningful and won't fall apart. A lot of low-quality junk that's snapped after a week or insanely overpriced. That's why I rock with GLD, and you can too, with 50% off when you use promo code CHAT. You're getting quality pieces that are built to last without breaking the bank. And unlike a lot of other companies, GLD only uses real gold. None of that cheap stuff. I also love that GLD, every single stone is meticulously hand set, and every single piece is guaranteed for life. Shout out to GLD. They sent me this awesome chain, this sick New York Knicks pendant. My Giants pendant is on the way. It looks just like this picture, and you can get yours too because they have official collabs with the NBA, NFL, MLB, NCAA, and more. Work hard and change the game. Right now, GLD is making it easy for new customers. You get an insane deal. Use code CHAT to get 50% off at GLD.com. That's 50% off with code CHAT at GLD.com. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them, so please support our show and tell them that Chat Sports sent you. So the 2026 NFL draft order, it looks like this. Las Vegas Raiders, number 1 on the clock. Jets, number 2. Cardinals, number 3. Titans, number 4. And the Giants, number 5. I don't for sure know if Caleb Downs is going to fall to 5. And that's why I'm all over this pick. Where's the draft going to go? There's no real number 2 consensus player. Let's just roll through Dane Brugler's big board here. He has Arvell Reese, the off-ball linebacker who could play some edge as well. His number 1 prospect. I like Arvell Reese. If he's there at 5, I would absolutely be open to taking him. But when you go watch that Ohio State defense, it's not number 8 that pops off the page the most. It's not Sonny Styles who pops off the screen the most. It's Caleb Downs. I've never seen a player in college football not only just read and react like Downs does. Like, how many times have we seen that play against the Giants where the quarterback fakes like a stretch play to the right and then rolls out behind him and throws it into the flat? You see Caleb Downs blow that play up every single week. There's read and reacting, and then there's anticipating. He is an anticipatory player on the back of an end of a defense. He's awesome. I like Arvell Reese as well. Dane Brugler has him number 1 on his big board. Number 2 and number 3, Fernando Mendoza and Jeremiah Love. I don't see the Giants, obviously, 1, getting the opportunity to draft Fernando Mendoza, but I don't think they're going to draft a running back number 5 overall this year. I love Sonny Styles. I'm not trying to say Sonny Styles is not a great player. I think 2 months ago I had him in my mock draft going to the New York Giants. At 6'4", 245 pounds, the linebacker runs a 4.5 40 and didn't miss a single tackle this year. He is the modern-day inside linebacker. I like Sonny Styles a lot. David Bailey, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech, who just caused a bunch of havoc in the Big 12 all year long. He is number 6. I don't see the Giants selecting another edge at number 5, but if it is David Bailey, man, the Giants are putting together a wicked group of pass rushers. Other guys like Mansour Delane, the cornerback out of LSU, I believe he could be in the ballpark for the Giants at number 5. Spencer Fano, the offensive tackle out of Utah. I love me some Ruben Bain. I think outside of Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain was the second best defensive player in college football this past year. But you get all these people talking about his arm length, that 31 inches isn't long enough, and 33-inch arms is what you want. Look, I don't know. I just know Ruben Bain is a kick-ass football player. I like Cardinal Tate. I just don't know if I like him at number 5. Remember this. Malik Neighbors went number 6. Is Cardinal Tate a better wideout prospect than Malik Neighbors? I don't think it's relatively close. Francis Maui-Noah, we've talked about him. If there's a belief that Spencer Fano or Francis Maui-Noah is a franchise right tackle, going to be there for the next 13 years, I would pick that player over Caleb Downs. But Francis Maui-Noah is number 11 on the big board. Talking about Spencer Fano, I think he was number 8 on the big board. No one is pounding the table saying these guys are Hall of Fame offensive tackles, whereas every single person that talks about Caleb Downs says he has Hall of Fame potential. Think about it like this, for the people that say, I don't want to draft a safety number 5 overall. If he's Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Sean Taylor, if he is one of those guys, are you going to look back and say, man, we picked him at 5. That was a little bit too early. Wish we could have got him at number 12. If you get Kyle Hamilton out of Caleb Downs, are you saying that? No. If you get a healthy Derwin James out of that, are you saying that? Absolutely not. This guy's the best player in the class, and I think he's the most likely to wear a gold jacket, and I hope he's wearing New York Giant blue on Sundays. Who do you want at pick number 5? Right now, Caleb Downs is number 1 on my wish list. If it turns out those tackles are Hall of Famers, I want those. But I don't know. John Harbaugh, I think I know who you want. I want to hear who the real ones want in the comment section. Make sure you are following me on social media. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on IG at @MarshallGreen_.